all my jobs till now has been via Twitter.
How do you think about like the personal branding aspect of it?
लोग आते हैं पोस्ट करके चले जाते हैं. What I try to do is
That also leads to a lot of like frustration कि भाई मैंने इतना काम किया और कुछ आउटपुट नहीं निकल के आ रहा उससे. It's not moving my needle.
what I feel is कि you don't have to be perfect.
What is the least scary way of posting online?
I think I just follow one rule.
Over the years, I've seen mostly two kinds of developers. One who are trying to sit in dark rooms, they're coding the next big feature, and then they are thinking that they will build it and the world will come to them. And then there are the other kind of people who are trying to put out a very flashy, grand version of themselves on their online social media platforms. And when you talk to these engineers, you feel that they are really lacking out of depth. But then recently I've started discovering a third kind of developers, right? And these are the people who dive in to the depths of tech. They are also trying to grow in their career and they're very like mindful about it. And they're also trying to present an authentic self online. And I think more people should be part of this group. This is Breaking Prod, where developers ditch the script and tell the real story. I'm Vivek, and in every episode we dive into the moments which do not make it to the release notes. The wins, the weird pivots, the human mess behind those clean commits. If you're someone who's building and breaking or just figuring it out, welcome home. So today we are kicking off a 3-part special series called as Standing Out as a Developer, where we'll be talking about what it really takes to grow in tech. It's not just about the hard skills, but how you carry yourself, how you stay curious, and how you keep it together when things get messy. And to unpack all of that, I've got Manthan Gupta with me on Breaking Prod.
Hi everyone, I'm Manthan and I work as a founding engineer at a AI infra company. I am also the creator of Cricklang. So I've done few things and built some projects. Other than working on the code, I play a lot of sports. So I play table tennis, cricket. I'm a big fan of cricket. So that's a short about me.
We'll start with that. I've seen you post a lot about your work online. To be honest, the last few companies you worked at, I would have not known the name for those companies had it not been for you. And I think when I first noticed your Twitter profile, it was when you launched Cricklang, right? So I see you post a lot about yourself. One thing which I am very afraid of, to be honest, is what can I post, what can I not post? Because what will become cringe very quickly, right? जैसे बहुत लोग होते हैं, बहुत कुछ post करे जा रहे हैं, and they are like एक point पे I'm like very annoyed, like why the fuck are you even posting that much, right? तो वो how do you balance between that? Because I've seen your posts being very balanced. How do you think about like the personal branding aspect of it?
So most of the thing that I've seen is लोग आते हैं पोस्ट करके चले जाते हैं, ठीक है? They put in the fancy words, put in the flashy things to make it viral and something. What I try to do is to keep it authentic. मेरा simple funda है कि if I'm learning something, I just post it. I post it with no intentions of it going viral or something. I just post it from a perspective to log it in my diary. Twitter is my diary. Twitter or LinkedIn is like my diary. I want to, like, 10 years from now, I go back to it. I see that I was here. It's like Instagram, but my professional thing. So I get to see that कि अच्छा मैं distributed systems पढ़ रहा था. अच्छा मैं अब AI में चला गया. इससे पहले मैं Web3 में था. So I get that it's like a snippet in the past for me.
Yeah, it's like a work log जैसे लोग बनाते हैं.
So it's just putting myself out and maybe people notice me, maybe people don't notice me. लेकिन ऐसा हुआ है मेरे साथ कि people come to me, have texted me in the DMs, like even emailed me कि they love my blogs, they love my tweets, and it feels more authentic. क्योंकि मेरा कोई मोटिव ही नहीं है उसके पीछे, उसको ट्वीट करने के पीछे या पोस्ट करने के पीछे.
What got you into doing this in the first place?
Interesting, क्योंकि funny thing is कि मैंने अपने सारे सोशल मीडिया के अकाउंट अपने 12th बर्थडे पे बना दिए थे. ट्विटर पे बनाया था, आई थिंक रेडिट पे बनाया था, एंड जीमेल सारे अकाउंट उसी दिन बनाए थे मैंने बैठ के साइबर कैफे में. एंड आई फॉरगॉट अबाउट द अकाउंट्स, एंड देन इन 2020 एंड 2021 आई थिंक कोविड चल रहा था मोस्टली, तो आई वाज लाइक आई शुड स्टार्ट पोस्टिंग अबाउट मी, क्योंकि हाउ वुड अ पर्सन डिस्कवर मी कि because everyone was getting laid off. I think उस time पे there was a whole scenario जहाँ पे people lay off हो रहे थे, and when you are from a, let's say, not from a tier 1 or tier 2 college, it's far harder for you to sell yourself. What I was doing is I just started posting randomly. अच्छा मुझे उस वक्त ऐसा था कि I think I was doing an internship in my second or third year, I'm not sure, ठीक है, and मुझे ऐसा था कि मैं I was transitioning from mobile development to backend, and मैं उस वक्त ऐसे ही system design के blogs पढ़ रहा था, and just so out of curiosity I was like, let's do content creation and just share it like my notes. बस share कर लो, वायरलिटी होगी नहीं होगी कोई बात नहीं, चल देखा जाएगा, एंड इट जस्ट स्टार्टेड पिकिंग अप. ठीक है, मैंने थ्रेड्स लिखना शुरू कर दिया, एंड आई जस्ट बिकेम द थ्रेड बॉय. ठीक है, तो and it got a lot of attention, to be honest, and I got a lot of people approaching me in the DMs. I got let's say a lot of good names started following me. So it was kind of a validation कि people are actually looking for this, but at the same time it was very time consuming for me as well to create that content. So there is one kind of posting where you'll need a lot of, let's say, मेहनत लगती है उसमें बहुत ज़्यादा, and then there is second one where you एक शैडो पोस्टिंग काइंड ऑफ अ थिंग कि अच्छा आपको कुछ सोचने में आया, अच्छा कुछ टेक्निकल, तो अच्छा पोस्ट कर दिया. इट कीप्स इट मोर ऑथेंटिक बिकॉज आई एम नाउ नॉट प्रेप्ड अप कि अच्छा मैं इसको तैयार करूँगा बैठ के कि ऐसा लगेगा. So it just got easier because I was reading a lot of things, learning a lot of new things, and I just kept on posting जो मैं सोच रहा हूँ उसके बारे में. So recently I used Firebase Studio Google का.
Oh, nice.
So I was like कि everyone is posting about it, but from a perspective, from a promotional perspective कि अच्छा वो promo video आया उसका कोई Google का, and उन्होंने बस वही retweet किया, repost करके they use the same video and posted it. ठीक है, I'm like कि now you are creating just hype similar to MCP. MCP के लिए उन्होंने hype create कर दिया and everything. मेरा पूरा perspective था कि अच्छा मैं record करूँगा, keep it raw, जो feel आ रही है, जो लग रहा है कि अच्छा this is something wrong in this, या मतलब अब वो फट रहा है तो फट रहा है, मैं तुम्हें दिखा रहा हूँ उसमें कि नहीं काम किया. ठीक है, बट जब मैंने Google Studio को डाला था, it also received around ज़्यादा नहीं 60-70 likes only. But the people that reached out to me, even the team from Google that actually built वो, तो they took that feedback from me and they worked upon it. तो उन्होंने भी reply में बोला कि does this documentation looks better now?
Oh damn, okay. So, that is, I mean, हाँ, अगर फिर, so you never know, right? I mean, you were just posting constantly because you had to, because that is something you had the itch for. And then once you got in and then you started posting a lot, you never know who's going to reply, who's going to see that.
The network effect is crazy.
Yeah.
If you start posting, बहुत crazy है.
Have you been able to like get any opportunities like that via just posting online? Ki, like मैं post किया, I was just out there and people were able to reach out to me and I got a maybe offer or whatever, anything.
So all my jobs till now has been via Twitter.
Oh my God, that's...
So the first job that I did and the second one that I'm doing right now, both are via Twitter.
So have you ever never tried to put it like कि I'm looking for a job या फिर इस तरह का, or did you put it something like that, या फिर was it just people reaching out because they just saw your work?
It was a mix of both. So when I graduated from college, I was looking out for a job. I was posting continuously, but you have to let people know कि you are looking out. थोड़ा मुश्किल हो जाता है कि अच्छा आप बताओ नहीं, क्योंकि then the inbounds are very less. अगर आपको पता है, people reach out to me in general बहुत ज़्यादा. अब मैं AI साइड पे पोस्ट करता हूँ, तो a lot of people reach out to me for help. या a lot of people from outside of India reach out to me to, let's say, do some like let's collaborate or something on similar lines. So I have done both. I think both times जब मैं actually job देख रहा था, I have put in the post कि अच्छा I'm looking for a job, short note. So but a lot of people now start actually vouching for you under the post because they have seen your work and because you put yourself out there.
That's a good side effect.
So a lot of people vouch for you. They tag people कि अच्छा ये बंदा मस्त है, let's you should talk to him and all. एंड a lot of times what happen is कि जो बंदा हायर कर रहा है उसने ही तुम्हारा काम इतना ज़्यादा नोटिस कर रखा होता है कि इट जस्ट गेट्स ईजियर, यू गेट अ लाइक अ
Yeah.
bypass kind of a thing कि अच्छा आपको 2-3 इंटरव्यूज नहीं देने, you just go there, get the vibe check done and you are in.
Like, so if you, for example, मैं अपने लिए पूछ रहा हूँ, ठीक है, this is personally for me, what is the least scary way of posting online? Like, how should I start?
I think I just follow one rule: be shameless.
But even in that, right? Even if you have to elaborate on that, be shameless. Right? वहाँ पे तुम कुछ भी post नहीं कर सकते. There's some thought to it, right? वरना I've been burned by this before. That if I'm posting something online, I have a sense that people will be monitoring it. What would they be thinking about it?
So that's a good question. क्योंकि the problem is कि you tweet and people start associating it with you. उस tweet के बारे में. So they dug up कि 10 साल पहले आपने क्या tweet किया था. Which has happened to a lot of people. ठीक है. तो but what I feel is कि you don't have to be perfect, to be honest. किसी को perfect नहीं होना है यहाँ पे. You're just putting in. कोई अपने को comments में बोलता है कि अच्छा this is wrong है. It's just unhealthy. मतलब वो लगता है ना कि अपने character पे attack नहीं लेना है उस चीज़ को. You just take it as a feedback and work upon it. Next time मतलब और better करो कि you put on something better there. And I feel कि I don't associate my image या my value to Twitter or social media in general. ठीक है, तो let's say if someone says something to me, I am like कि ठीक है, I will improve it on the next one. मतलब but it's not like I don't take it as an attack on me.
Even more than that है, मुझे लगता है, पता है मेरे साथ ऐसा होता है कि मैंने कुछ पोस्ट किया और मुझे लग रहा है क्या बैंगर चीज़ है, बट उस पर कोई रीच नहीं आई.
हाँ, but
like,
you are going into that thought process ना कि मतलब वो था ना कर्म करो और फल की चिंता मत करो.
हाँ, वही है. I think it's then more about how I am treating that social media platform in general. उसके नीचे क्या उसका repercussion, not the repercussion even, उसके ऊपर कैसी रीच आ रही है, क्या आ रही है, फिर मैं वो नहीं सोच रहा हूँ. If I don't think about that, I think then it might become a little bit easier to post. Yes. But जब तक मैं वो सोच रहा हूँ तब तक मेरे दिमाग में नहीं वो चीज़ आती है.
It's like a hindrance.
But एक चीज़ मैंने ये चीज़ें देखी है, and I think a lot of people struggle with this, and I have been struggling with this a lot, is once you're inside a company, now then it becomes harder to post, right? For sure. But there are other things like, जैसे for a developer, it's not just about the coding skills, right? मतलब ऐसा नहीं होगा कि तुम बहुत अच्छा कोड कर रहे हो तो तुम्हें कंपनी में सब ऐसे प्रमोशन आता जा रहा है, ठीक है, automatically. You have to be very cognizant about how you're presenting it, how you're sharing that work inside the company even, right? What do you think, like how do you stand out once you are inside a company, and how do you communicate like your presentations, your work or whatever?
I think that's a really important skill, क्योंकि अगर आप अपना काम दिखाओगे नहीं तो people, it's like you go into the shadows फिर, ठीक है, कि तुम्हें अपना impact दिखाना चाहिए because that actually puts an impression on the other person and the team कि how much you are shipping or how much impact you are putting out जो कंपनी को affect कर रहा है. So what I generally do is कि अगर मैंने कोई feature ship करा and all, I make an announcement on the जो भी engineering channel होता है उस पर मैं announcement डालता हूँ. So recently I did like a अपना latency decrease किया था on the API side like around 90%. So which was like कि 2 to 2.5 second की अगर latency है तो I brought it down to 0.2, 0.3 seconds with the rewrite of the whole API architecture on the auth part. So now I had to communicate this impact because this was a big deal for the company क्योंकि even a slight millisecond improvement का भी impact रहता है क्योंकि user does not have patience and it has a, let's say, a good impact on the company. So I formed a good draft of this कि what did I do, why did I do, and what was the क्या बोलते हैं impact on the systems and कैसे improve करेगा ये company के लिए. So you have to show your impact कि blast radius क्या था इस काम का तुम्हारा. You have to sell your work. It is similar to showcasing your work online कि आपने क्या किया है. It's similar कि आपको अंदर भी दिखाना पड़ेगा कंपनी के अंदर कि क्या किया है आपने, सो दैट पीपल नो योर इम्पैक्ट ऑन द टीम एंड जस्ट डोंट थिंक कि आप काम नहीं कर रहे हो या इम्पैक्टफुल काम नहीं कर रहे हैं.
बट एक चीज है इसमें, मतलब मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि कहीं कहीं पे why I was hesitant earlier was I thought I would need an approval or a permission to post things, right, in a company Slack group. Over time, I realized there are some teams who do over communicate a lot, and they have over communication as a prime directive in their like thought process, and for real, it's not just कि मैंने लिख दिया कि it is like we have to communicate a lot, so we'll communicate a lot. You see from top down, like कि जो तुम्हारा senior most बंदा है वो भी कर रहा है, तो तुम भी धीमे धीमे trickle down करके कर रहे हो. There's also one thing which I learned and I follow. Sometimes I'm not sure if you have read about it or heard it. There's something called as Nemawashi, which is right कि जैसे जो मैंने बहुत बार ट्राई किया है. Nemawashi says that you before going into a meeting try to have one-on-one approvals of that thing with different people, so that when you get into the meeting you already have people who have जिनके साथ तुमने buy-in already ले रखा है, so they are like supporters of your idea already, right? So sometimes what I do is अगर मुझे कोई idea दिमाग में आया, maybe if I'm too afraid to post it in a public forum, then I share it to 2-3 people as a review कि मतलब see what your thoughts are on that. That does two things. That does one कि एक थोड़ा सा unbiased view मिल जाता है तुमको, ठीक है, and then two, it reduces the friction of posting कि भाई मैं किस तरह से post करूँ, and then I can frame the post accordingly, right? कि अगर मेरे को intermediate को भेजना है तो मैं उस तरह से भेजूंगा. अगर मेरे को मतलब probably intermediate मैं इसलिए बोल रहा हूँ because maybe I am reaching that level, right? अगर कोई junior होगा तो हो सकता है वो अपने peers को भेजे जो वो और junior लोग होंगे उसके हिसाब से, तो maybe he wants to cater the message accordingly. And once you are inside the meeting, then you already know who had what thoughts, and you already have maybe worked on that feedback before getting into a room. Do you do a lot of presentations as well of the work which you do? Do you have demo days like in the companies which you have been to?
Not as such. इससे पिछले वाली कंपनी में we had something like a hackathon kind of a thing, like a one-day thing.
Okay.
तो वहाँ पे presentation दी थी, but what I mostly relied on, so I was like I have a stage fear kind of a thing. ठीक है, बहुत ज़्यादा stage fear है, मैं काँपना शुरू कर देता हूँ. मतलब it has happened to me in college. I had to give a, let's say I was elected as a vice president for a club, and I had to give a speech or something. मैं काँप रहा हूँ बहुत गंदी तरीके से, ठीक है, and what I have felt is कि the only solution to this is to go to the stage more.
It's like practice.
और कोई तरीका ही नहीं है उसको to make it better. You just have to go to the stage, just get more comfortable to it, and now I'm giving more offline talks and all. I think it's getting better for me now as well. I think the most जो सबसे बुरी चीज़ होती है ना कि या सबसे गलत चीज़ जो प्रेजेंटर्स करते हैं, they don't assess their, let's say, audience. They don't know their audience as such. कि अच्छा ऑडियंस क्या है, बिगनर है या उनको पहले से पता है चीज़ें, या मतलब टारगेट ऑडियंस क्या है. then you start thinking from their perspective. अगर मैं बिगनर हूँ एंड आप मुझे सिस्टम डिज़ाइन, मतलब लेट्स से मैंने अभी रिसेंटली एजेंटिक फ्रेमवर्क पे ही एक टॉक दी थी, सो आई न्यू कि सब बिगनर्स हैं. now I'm taking them from कि AI agents होता क्या है to now building their first RAG application. And I am taking them from कि अच्छा AI agents क्या होता है, tool calling क्या होती है, how to build a simple agent with that framework, and then introduce their कि अच्छा knowledge base क्या होता है, vector databases क्या होते हैं, and then introduce them to RAG. So it's like building those steps. Think from a perspective कि अगर आप पहली बार उसमें आए हो, कि आप अगर पहली बार AI एजेंट सुन रहे हो तो हाउ वुड यू लर्न. तो आई थिंक दैट हैज हेल्प मी. आप सेम चीज़ इंटरमीडिएट लेवल्स के लिए नहीं कर सकते. दे नो देयर शिट कि अच्छा रैग क्या है. नाउ व्हाट यू वुड डू इज कि आप ज़्यादा प्रैक्टिकल पे जाओगे कि अच्छा रैग में भी वेरिएशंस हैं. हाउ वुड यू इम्प्रूव द परफॉर्मेंस, या लेट्स से डू मच मोर एडवांस्ड एग्जाम्पल ऑन एजेंटिक फ्रेमवर्क वेर यू आर बिल्डिंग वर्कफ्लोज, कॉम्प्लेक्स वर्कफ्लोज या मल्टी एजेंट आर्किटेक्चर बना रहे हो आप उसमें. एंड फॉर एडवांस आई थिंक इट जस्ट हैपन्स कि आप फ्रेमवर्क नहीं यूज़ करोगे, फ्रेमवर्क को हटा दिया. आई थिंक इट डिपेंड्स. You just have to assess your, let's say, the audience, and then you keep on building upon it.
If you have to give one advice, right, to someone who's to not someone, to a developer who's feeling invisible right now, right? कि वो बहुत सारा काम कर रहा है, but maybe they don't have enough eyeballs on that work. What would that be like? What is like a bottom one liner on that?
I think just start posting about your impact, ki how you have impacted, like how your work impacts with the company. To be honest, आप काम कर रहे हो, it should tie up with an impact to the company, कि positive impact कर रहा है, and just post it. If you are feeling invisible in the company, just start posting in the engineering channel. जैसे कि आपने बोला कि भेज दो एक दो लोगों को टीम में एंड जस्ट गेट एन अप्रूवल काइंड ऑफ लाइक अ वैलिडेशन काइंड ऑफ अ थिंग कि सही लग रहा है या नहीं लग रहा. इट्स अ इनर वैलिडेशन जो आपको मिल जाती है कि ठीक है, अब वो फिर बंदा रिलैक्स हो जाता है कि दो लोगों को पसंद आया है, अब मैं डाल सकता हूँ. तो इट इज एक्चुअली गुड फ्रेमवर्क. आई लाइक इट. मतलब मैं भी आपसे शायद करने लगूंगा ये भी, तो क्योंकि मैं तो डायरेक्ट डाल देता हूँ मैं. बट
I think at your level it is like, I mean, you have built enough confidence to do that, right? मेरे पास वो confidence नहीं था initially, right, to post, and it took me some time. Like it took me around, मतलब मुझे समझ नहीं आता कि how do people get these approvals in the meeting so quickly. Then I started talking about this to my manager, right? And धीमे धीमे I was feeling also a lot कि भाई मैं काम तो बहुत सारा कर रहा हूँ, मैं दिखा नहीं पा रहा हूँ, and there's no impact, and फिर मेरे 6 monthly reviews में कुछ आ नहीं रहा है. राइट कि मतलब मैं वहाँ लिख रहा हूँ एंड देन मैनेजर इज लाइक ये भी तुमने किया था वाला चीज हो गया कि अच्छा ये भी हुआ था. तो देन आई स्टार्टेड थिंकिंग ओके आई नीड टू चेंज समथिंग, एंड दैट आल्सो लीड्स टू अ लॉट ऑफ लाइक फ्रस्ट्रेशन कि भाई मैंने इतना काम किया और कुछ आउटपुट नहीं निकल के आ रहा है उससे. इट्स नॉट मूविंग माय नीडल, राइट?
I think वो वर्कलॉग मेंटेन करना बहुत ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है इस चीज के लिए.
I think we talked like about multiple things. One is like posting for documentation, and that could include work logs, that could include posting on Twitter. Then I think we discussed a lot about how do you share your work inside the company, and that includes also Nemawashi now. So if people want to start following that, and eventually I think standing out is not just about being loud online, कि मतलब तुमने बहुत कुछ फ्लैशी डाल दिया और उसको तुम रीपोस्ट कर रहे हो, लोग बहुत सारे उस पर लाइक्स एंड रीशेयर्स कर रहे हैं, but it's all about like how you are being clear, how you're being visible, like how you're increasing your real estate online.
Yes.
So
I like it. Real estate on LinkedIn.